I recently went to Japan for 12 days, and this is all the yarn that I bought. I went to 5 different yarn stores while in Japan, and in this video I'm going to show you everything that I got from each store. The first yarn store that I went to was in Tokyo, and it was called Daruma, and it's definitely a smaller yarn store, but they had a really good selection of yarn. They sold both their own brand of yarn as well as other brands of yarn, and yeah, I really like their selection. They had a lot of different options available, and I'm going to show you everything that I bought. I bought a decent amount of yarn from this store. Oh my god, there's an ant in my bag of yarn. I'm gonna start with this mohair yarn right here. So I don't know if this is their own brand. Let me see. Yeah, so it is their own brand. As you can see, it says Daruma on the label here. So yeah, this is their own brand of yarn, and yeah, this mohair feels so soft. I think it's mohair. Let me just make sure. Yeah, so it is 56% mohair and 44% merino wool. I really love the color. I don't know if the color is going to show up accurately on camera, but as you can see, it is a navy blue, but it's a very rich color. Like it's vibrant. It's a vibrant dark blue, which I love. Ooh, I'm excited for this. And I bought 4 balls of this yarn. So the next yarn that I'm going to show you is a linen, rami, and cotton blend of yarn. And this is also their own brand of yarn. So yeah, it is 50. Ooh, I cannot read that label. So this is the label, and this is the front of it. Yeah, so I bought 3 balls of this yarn. Each ball of yarn has 102 meters, so I bought 3. The next yarn I'm going to show you is also their own brand of yarn. I think that most of the yarn that I bought from this store was their own brand, because my goal when buying yarn in Japan was to buy like mostly Japanese yarns and yarn that I wouldn't be able to buy here or online. So yeah, most stores that I went to, I bought like their specific brand of yarn. And this is a cotton linen blend of yarn, and it does say that it is 70% cotton and 30% linen, and each little ball here is 50 yards, I believe. Yeah, or 46 meters. I thought this yarn looked so cool because yeah, it's a linen cotton blend, but look how thick the yarn is. But it's like, look, it's thin, but it's wide. It's like, it kind of looks like a ribbon yarn, and I just thought it was super cool and unique, and I don't know what I'm gonna make with it yet. They did have examples of like what you can make with this yarn available in their store, and I think most of the examples were bags, so I feel like this yarn would create some really nice bags, but I don't know if I want to make a bag. All I want to make lately are tops, so I did buy this yarn with intentions to make like a cute little crop top or something, but we'll see. I might actually end up making a bag because I think that could also be fun as well. I did buy 3 balls of this yarn. I just don't know where my 3rd one is at the moment. So that's all the yarn that I bought at the first yarn store that I went to, Daruma. And the second yarn store that I went to was also in Tokyo, and this store was called Walnut, and such a nice store. They actually have 2 locations. They have one location in Tokyo and another location in Kyoto. But I went to the one in Tokyo, and I'm going to show you all the yarn that I bought there. So the first yarn that I'm going to show you that I got from this Walnut yarn store is this kid silk mohair yarn that literally looks like a cloud. It is so pretty. I'm going to turn down the exposure of my camera so you can see it a little better. It's so pretty. It is so soft. The exact blend of this yarn is 60% super kid mohair and 40% silk. And there is 656 yards in this skein. So pretty. And this is the store's own brand of yarn, and I will show you the label. So on the label it says Ami Risu. So the yarn store is called Amirisu, but it's also called Walnut. So I don't know if Amirisu means walnut in Japanese. I have no idea, but this is the label. And this is the rest of the yarn that I got at Walnut. And all of this yarn is 100% linen, I believe. And it is also their own brand of yarn. So this yarn store carried a lot of brands that weren't their own brand of yarn, but they did also carry their own brand of yarn. And like I mentioned earlier, my goal was to mostly buy yarns that were made in Japan or just hand-dyed in Japan, and I believe these are hand-dyed in Japan. Well, yeah, because it's their own line of hand-dyed yarns, so yeah, hand-dyed in Japan. These are all kind of different, so I'll start by showing you these, which are all the same, and these that are all the same, I'll show you these after. So these are all 100% linen. This is the label. Oopsies. This is the label. And this is the back. I don't know if that's relevant. I'm not really sure what it says. But this yarn is cool. It's got more of like a chain net kind of. I don't know how to say it, but basically it is not, it's like a single ply, but it's more of like a chain net construction, if that makes sense. I really don't know how to explain it, but hopefully it makes sense when you see it. Yeah, it's different kind of, I don't know, construction is not the right word, but basically it's different than this yarn, because this yarn is, this yarn is also a single ply chain net kind of construction. That's weird. But they're both different and they feel different. This one feels like lighter and this one feels more stiff. Huh, interesting. Anyways, they're both 100% linen. This is 100% linen too. Anyways, I'm just gonna show you the label. These are the other ones. So these are the colors. So these two are solid colors. This is the label and this is the yarn. So these are the solid colors, and then I have a more variegated colorway. Ooh, I really love this one because I love variegated colorways. This is the label. Yeah, same label. So yeah, both 100% linen. Just this one's more light and airy for some reason, but they are different. So that is all the yarn that I got from the yarn store Walnut. And now for the next yarn store that I went to, which was in Osaka. This was the third yarn store that I went to while in Japan, and this store was amazing. Their selection of yarn was crazy. I think it was, I don't know if I would say it was better than the Walnut store. It was just different. But the thing that was cool about this third yarn store that I went to was that they carried a lot of different Japanese brands of yarn, whereas Walnut carried a lot of brands from all over and not necessarily Japanese brands of yarn, and I wanted to buy Japanese yarns. And this yarn store in Osaka had a lot of Japanese yarn brands, which was so fun. So a lot of the reviews for this yarn store mentioned their amazing selection of Noro yarn, and it definitely did not disappoint because I bought a lot of Noro yarn from this yarn store, and a lot of it was Noro yarn that I don't think you can buy here in Canada. And yeah, because I tried to find it online and it wasn't available, and I've never seen it in any stores that I've gone to here in Canada. So yeah, I was super excited about it. And yeah, I'll start by showing you that. So this is technically Noro yarn, but it's not, you can't find it on their website, I don't think, if you look up just Noro, because I think this is like a, almost like a sister company or like a branch of Noro, and it is called Isaku Noro, I think. I'll just show you the label. So yeah, this was super cool because I love Noro yarn, and this is very different from any other yarn that I've ever used or come across before, because this yarn has paper in it, specifically Japanese art paper called washi paper, and it's a blend of the washi paper and linen, which is so cool, and it feels very nice. It's not super scratchy, and I have already tested out making a garment with this yarn, specifically this yarn right here, which is also made of washi paper and linen. It's just a slightly different blend. Yeah, and it was surprisingly pretty comfortable. I was worried it would be a little scratchy when used to make a garment, and it was actually totally fine. I loved it, and it was super fun to work with because it just felt very different and yeah, very fun. So I'll show you up close what this yarn looks like. Isn't it so pretty? I love this colorway so much. Oh my gosh. So I bought 2 skeins of this colorway, and each skein has 180 meters. And then I bought just 1 skein of this colorway because this was the last one that they had available. So I was only able to buy just the 1 skein, and this colorway is so pretty. I think it would be really fun to make something for fall with this colorway because the colors really remind me of autumn. So pretty. And the next yarn that I'm going to show you is this one right here, which has the same contents as this yarn, just a slightly different blend. So, ooh, this label is in Japanese, but I think that it's 40% linen and 58% washi paper, or it's 58% linen and 40% washi paper. And this one is 69% linen and 30% washi paper. And I'll show you the label. It is in Japanese, but I do remember the 69% being linen. So yeah, this one is a little bit more stiff than this yarn, which is interesting because this one has a higher percentage of the washi paper compared to this one, and I kind of expected the higher percentage of linen of this yarn to mean that it would be softer, because in my head I picture linen being like a softer fiber. But actually, no, a lot of the linen yarn that I've used has been a little bit more stiff, so I guess that kind of makes sense. But washi paper must be a little softer then, I guess. Anyways, I got 1 skein in this color, 1 skein in this color, and then I also got 2 other colors that I already started using to make a top because I really wanted to start making something with yarn that I got from Japan, and I kept putting off filming the yarn haul, so I just started using some of the yarn before filming the yarn haul. So I got 4 skeins of this yarn and only 1 skein of each color. I feel like I got 5 skeins, but I can't find the 5th one at the moment, so we're just gonna say 4. I had to change spots because the lighting in the last spot that I was sitting in right here was getting a little weird and inconsistent. So anyways, gonna continue with this Noro yarn right here. So this is more of like your typical Noro yarn that you would come across in yarn stores near you, and this is, I don't know which one this is. Oh, it says Sonata Shima. This is what the label says. And the blend of this yarn is 35% cotton, 25% viscose, 20% silk, and 20% polyamide. And I just loved the colorway of this yarn. I think it is so pretty. These colors are so pretty. I feel like I got a pink colorway of this yarn, and it's not in my bag, so it might be in my other suitcase, which means there might actually be a lot more yarn in my other suitcase that I forgot about. And if that's the case, I will grab it later once I go through this bag of yarn because I just want to get through this right now. But yeah, I feel like I definitely got a pink colorway of this yarn. But anyways, we will deal with that later. This is a close-up of these colors. Actually, I'll just start by doing one at a time. So pretty. This colorway feels very spring and summery, so I might end up making something with it in the summer. Ooh, but I have a lot of yarn that I want to start using this summer, so I'm not sure about that. And this colorway reminds me of autumn, so I probably won't make anything with it until the fall, but I feel like this is the perfect autumn colorway. It just feels so cozy. So pretty. And now I think the rest of the yarn that I got from this yarn store isn't Japanese yarn, and it's this yarn right here, which is Lang yarn, which is definitely not a Japanese yarn, but I can't remember if there's anything else that I got from this yarn store. I don't know. Yeah, so I got this Lang yarn from this third yarn store that I went to in Japan. So this is what it looks like. This yarn is so pretty, and even though it's not a Japanese yarn, I just had to get it because I've never seen it before and I didn't know if it was something that I would be able to get back home. So I got 2 little cakes of this yarn, and this is a mostly cotton yarn. I think it's a blend of cotton and I don't know if it's acrylic or polyester. Okay, so it's 88% cotton and 12% polyamide nylon. It is so pretty. The cakes are starting to fall apart a little bit though, as you can see, but that's my fault because I keep handling it very poorly. I definitely got another colorway of this Lang yarn. Ooh. Yes, I did. This is the other colorway of the Lang yarn. So pretty. Yeah, they had a few different colorways available of this yarn, and I wanted to buy more of it, but I needed to relax because I was buying a lot of yarn at this point. So pretty. I almost wish I bought more. I definitely don't need more though. Also, I just realized I don't think I showed you the label yet. So this is the label. This is Lang Fiesta. And here are the contents of it. And then I bought 2 little cakes of this Lang Palettes. This is what the label says. And this is a very sparkly sequin yarn. Oh my gosh. So pretty. I've been trying to find a sequin yarn for a while now, and I haven't been able to find anything in any of the yarn stores near me. And even online, I've been having a hard time. So as soon as I saw this, I just had, oops. So as soon as I saw this, I just had to get it. Oh my gosh, I have to get that cake. It rolled underneath the barbecue. It's okay. As soon as I saw this yarn, I just had to get it. And they had so many other colorways available of this sequin yarn. And yeah, honestly, I do wish I got more because I love how pretty it is. But I feel like maybe this is a yarn that I'll be able to, you know, buy online here in Canada. So now that I know it exists, I'm definitely gonna see if I can find it somewhere and buy more colors of it after I try it and see if I like it, because I haven't used it yet. I feel like it'd be super fun to make like a sort of like festival outfit with this. Not an outfit, probably just like one garment, because I only got 2 cakes of this yarn, and one cake only has 112 meters, and I only got 2 cakes. So I don't know what I'm gonna make with this yet. We'll see. So that's all the yarn that I got in this third yarn store, which also I don't know the name of this yarn store. I will have it linked in the description of this video and maybe somewhere here on the screen, but it's completely in Japanese and I don't know what it says. And now for the next yarn store that I went to, which was the 4th yarn store that I went to in Japan. I probably bought the most yarn from this store. I'll just show you. So all the yarn that's left in this bag was bought at this 4th yarn store. I bought so much yarn from the store, and that's because they had everything I was looking for. Like I mentioned, I was looking to mostly buy Japanese yarns, but I was also on the lookout for summer fibers, so more like linen and cotton yarns. And this store had so many options available, and their colors were so vibrant, and they had so many colors available of each type of fiber that they were selling. I loved this yarn store so much. I was super excited that I ended up going, because I almost didn't go to this store because when I looked it up on Google, the reviews were like a little underwhelming. It just looked like another yarn store that just, it wasn't, you know, anything special. And the whole reason why I ended up going to this yarn store was because the instructor of a cooking class that we did in Osaka actually recommended this store because she crochets, and when she found out that I also crochet and knit, she recommended this yarn store to me. So based on her recommendation, I decided to check out this yarn store, and I'm so glad that I did because I think this yarn store was my favorite, if not maybe one of my favorites, because I did really like the first one that I went to in Osaka, so the third yarn store that I went to. But no, honestly, I think this one was my favorite because they had everything that I was looking for, which is why I bought so much. And I also feel like I remember this yarn being a little bit more affordable than the other yarn stores, but honestly, I could be remembering wrong. I was on a pretty big high in this yarn store and wasn't really paying attention to price, but all of this yarn I think cost me $200, 200 and something dollars, I think. Anyways, I am gonna go through this yarn and show you everything that I got. The lighting was being weird again, so I have changed spots once again. But now I'm gonna show you all of this yarn. Oh my god. Okay, so this store mostly carried their own brand of yarn, and they had a lot of summer fibers available, and the options that they had for their linen yarn were amazing. So all of this right here is 100% linen yarn, and it is super thin yarn. It's definitely a lace weight yarn. It honestly feels even thinner than a lace weight because it is so fine, and I got super excited about this yarn, as you can see. Yeah, they had so many colorways available, and all of the colorways available were so beautiful and vibrant, so I bought a lot of it. And yeah, I feel like I definitely remember the price being very good because I think that was why I kind of went a little crazy and bought so many skeins. Oh my god. So I'm pretty sure that the weight of this yarn is more commonly used for weaving, but they did have a little swatch available showing what it looked like when knit into a fabric, and it looked really beautiful. So I know that it will work if I try knitting or crocheting with it. I'm really excited to try crocheting with it because I love crocheting with lace because it creates a very flexible and light fabric, and I just think it's so fun. So yeah, I think the first thing that I'm going to try making with this yarn is some sort of crochet garment. Oh my gosh, so pretty. I love this yarn so much. So they did, oops, I just realized there's one more skein. So for their linen yarn, they did have 3 options available. They had this yarn available in the super fine lace weight that I got all these skeins in, but then they also had a fingering weight available and a DK weight available of their 100% linen yarn, and I still went with their super fine lace weight yarn for every single color that I got because I wanted to be consistent with all the colors that I chose in case I wanted to make some sort of multicolor crochet project, which I kind of want to try doing with this yarn. So that's why I got all of these colors in their super fine lace weight yarn, even though their fingering weight option or DK weight option of this 100% linen would have been nice as well. I wanted to stick to all the same weight for all the colors that I chose. Also, if I remember correctly, I do think they had more colorways available for their lace weight linen compared to like the fingering and DK weight. So I think that's also why I ended up going with the super fine lace weight option. Anyways, that is all the linen that I got at the store. But then I also got some other fibers as well. So the other types of like summer fibers that they had available at the store were more like linen, cotton blends, and 100% cotton yarns and a bunch of that kind of stuff. But I didn't buy any cotton yarn, but I did buy a few skeins of, this yarn, which is, oh yeah, so this is 100% rami yarn, I think it is, which is a plant that specifically grows in Asia, which I thought was so cool, and I felt like that was pretty unique to Japan. And this yarn is also still their own brand. I honestly think most of the yarn in that store was their own brand, because I only saw a few yarns in that store that were other brands, and even then it was mostly like brands that were from Japan. But yeah, almost everything was their own brand of yarn, which was super fun. Oops, no, I'm not gonna show you that one yet. Yeah, so this is 100% Rami yarn. So I'm just gonna show you the label for this yarn. So this is the 100% Rami yarn, and this is their brand name, but the barcode is covering part of the name. So I'm just gonna show you the label of like one of their yarns. This is not the Rami yarn, but this is their brand name. And this yarn right here is I think it's 100% silk. Yeah, so this is 100% silk, and I only got one skein of it because they did have a few colorways available for this yarn, but I wasn't really loving the colors that they had available. This was the one that I liked the most, so I just got one skein of it. But yeah, after seeing all of these beautiful colors right here, I was a little underwhelmed by the colors available for their silk yarn, but they were still very beautiful. It was just more like muted colorways that they had, and I was really craving vibrant colors at this point, especially after seeing all of the vibrant colors that they had available for their lace weight linen yarn. Also, I don't think I showed you the label for this yarn, but I'll just show you really quickly. Also, I don't think I mentioned this before, but one of these skeins has 1,100 meters in it, which is insane. Yeah, so one skein will really go a long way. And that's the thing that I really like about lace weight yarns, is that there's usually a lot of yardage in just one skein because it's such a thin yarn, but I'll still use this yarn with bigger needles and just have it be more of like an open knit type of fabric. And then a lot of the times for projects that I do like that, I only need one skein. So I just looked up the name of this fourth yarn store that I went to, the store that I bought all this gorgeous yarn from, and I just realized the name of the store is literally the name that's on their label. So this is the name of the store. And yeah, on Google, it only has 22 reviews and it has a 4.3 rating. So I was like, oh, it can't be anything that special. But even their photos on Google look so pretty. Yeah, definitely worth checking out if you're in Osaka. Such a nice yarn store. Yeah, because I find it so hard to find linen yarns and any kind of like plant fibers here in Canada. I feel like, you know, usually I'll come across more like merino yarns and mohair yarns that are in the colorways that I want. And I feel like the plant fibers that I come across here in Canada are usually not in the colors that I want. So this was super fun. I'm so excited about all this yarn that I got, and there are so many things that I want to make with it. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to make first. Anyway, that's all the yarn that I got from the yarn store Teoriya. And I think I might still have a little bit more yarn left to show you if I'm right and there is more yarn in one of my suitcases. So I'm gonna go and check, and I'll come back and show you if there is still more yarn left. So it turns out I don't actually have more yarn in my other suitcase like I thought I did, but I did find this yarn that I also bought in Japan that I totally forgot about. And I actually bought this yarn at the 5th yarn store that I went to while in Japan. And this yarn store, I would say, is more of a spinning store because they had a lot of wool roving and spinning wheels available in this store, but they did also sell some yarn as well. And so I bought this, which is 100% silk. And yeah, just bought 2 cones of silk yarn. I do wish I knew how to spin because they did have a lot of fun options available for the roving that they were selling. Like they had a lot of colors available, and it made me want to learn how to spin. So yeah, I only bought 2 cones of yarn at this 5th yarn store, which was in Kyoto, and I highly recommend it if you are a spinner because they had a lot of options available for spinners. Anyway, that is all the yarn that I bought while in Japan. I bought a lot. I bought so much yarn, but I'm really happy with everything that I got because I bought so many plant fiber yarns and silk yarns, which was my goal for this trip because I have a lot of merino fiber and I wanted to buy something a little bit different, and I didn't have a lot of plant fiber yarn before going to Japan, and now I have lots of plant fiber yarn, which I'm super excited to start using because I love to knit and crochet garments for the spring, summer, and fall, but I feel like it's kind of hard to do that with merino or alpaca or like animal fiber yarns because it ends up being a little bit too warm. So super excited about all my plant fiber yarn that I bought in Japan, and I'm definitely going to start making something with it as soon as possible. I'm probably actually going to start making something with one of these yarns as soon as I'm done filming this yarn haul. So I have to cake it first, but I got my yarn swift out here and I'm going to, yeah, probably start winding this yarn as soon as I'm done filming. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this yarn haul. Let me know in the comments down below which yarn is your favorite. I think this yarn is my favorite, specifically these colors too, because I love green. So I think I would have to say that this is my favorite yarn that I got in Japan, but let me know which one's your favorite in the comments down below. Also, I'll make sure to have all of the yarn stores that I visited in Japan linked in the description of this video. So if you're interested in checking that out, I will have that linked down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go now, but hopefully I will see you in one of my next videos. Bye!